You see this pencil skirt here, I did not join the sides and it has a flounce. So in this video I'm going to show you how to sew a pencil skirt with front flounce or flounce in the front, and it doesn't have joining at the side. So let's go. So I'm starting with this very beautiful, lovely, is it maroon scuba fabric, and it's on a fold. Okay, it's on a fold. And from the top I marked 30 inches for the length of my skirt. I wanted a kind of, not really a short skirt, but like midi skirt. You guys get not knee length, not too long, but you know, just in between the knee and the feet. So midi skirt, right? So after marking 30 inches, I went ahead to connect my markings with a straight line. Then I just cut out my working piece. Okay, I cut out my working piece. You want to do this with a very sharp scissors. Okay, so after cutting out my working piece, next I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over the hem on 1 inch turning allowance. That's, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to seal it with my sealing gum. Okay, so you are going to fold 1 inch on the top and 1 inch on the bottom. Okay, now the reason why the actual length of this skirt is 28 inches, but I added 2 extra inches, which is what made it 30, so I can turn in 1 inch at the top and turn in and fold 1 inch at the bottom, you know, turn at the top and at the bottom. So I took it over to my ironing table and I just used my sealer to seal the top and the bottom like this. So for this tutorial you must use a stretchy fabric. Okay, so after sealing, I turned it over to the right side and I gave it a good press, and this is what we have here, guys. You can see well put together. So this is the I've taken it back to my marking ground. You know, I'm not marking on the table and it's still on a fold here. I just went ahead to mark 1 inch seam zip allowance. Okay, so that's 1 inch zip allowance and I'm going to join it on that line. Okay, so I took it over to my sewing machine and I just joined the 1 inch zip allowance. Okay, very simple, very straightforward. So after joining the 1 inch zip allowance, this is what we have here, guys. The next thing I went ahead to do was I used my scissors to cut it open. Okay, because we're going to attach a zip, it has to be open. Okay, so I cut it open. You want to make sure you're using a very sharp scissors. And after cutting it open, I gave it a really good press. All those people that say you don't iron stretchy fabric, that's a lie from the pit of hell. So I opened it up with a good press, and see that mark there. And I'm going to attach my zip. Okay, this is a zip. I know it's very long. I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so I used my razor blade to open it up, and see the way I placed the zip on that seam allowance crease. Okay, so you want to make sure that the hinges for the zip is just at that point, so that by the time you're done sewing and turning it over, you don't need a band or a facing. So I took it back to my sewing machine and I attached the zip to the skirt. Okay, did a back stitch and I gave it a good press. So after joining the zip, I make sure I ironed, and this is what we have here, guys. It's still on a fold. This is what it looks like. The next I went ahead to do was I went ahead to turn it to the right side of the fabric. So after turning it to the right side of the fabric, there's something I want to explain to you guys. So this is, let's take this paper illustration. That is where I attached my zip. Okay, you can see the zip allowance there and where I attached my zip. I'm just going to do a little asterisk so you guys would get the visual representation I'm trying to do here. Okay, now there are 2 ways to mark your measurement here on this skirt. You want to divide your waist measurement by 2, because remember that this fabric is on a fold. Okay, so you divide your waist measurement by 2 and you mark it. You go down by 8 inches. Okay, you divide your hips measurement by 2, you also mark it. Then you go down to the hem, you step down your hips measurement maybe by 2 inches or 3 inches, depending on how pencil you want the skirt to be, and you just connect your markings together. Now this is one way to mark this skirt. Okay, I tried this method and I didn't really like the outcome, so hence I came up with another way to mark the skirt for it to look pencil-y. Okay, now this is the second way to mark it, and this is the way I used. That now that place I'm marking out is kind of where the zip was sitting in the main fabric. Okay, so from the center I'm going to mark my waist divided by 2. Okay, divide the waist measurement by 2 and you mark it. Then I went to the hem. Now for the hem, you might want to step down your waist measurement by 1 inch, or you just mark your exact waist measurement. So for this tutorial, I actually stepped down my waist measurement by 1 inch, and you're just going to connect from the top to the bottom with a straight line on a slanted line, however your own turned out. Okay, so this is what we have here, guys, and of course that side is where it's going to form the flounce. Okay, zip allowance and flounce. So do you guys understand the concept of this skirt? The main thing is all your measurements will be divided by 2, not 4. Okay, so this is the measurement, this is the style we are working with. So from the middle, I divided my waist by 2. My waist is 32, so divided by 2 is 16, so I marked 16. I went to the hem and I marked 15. So I just used my biro and I connected my markings with a slanted line. Okay guys, and when I got to the hem, I did a back stitch. Okay, and guys, this is how the skirt turned out. Like, this is a pencil skirt I have ever sewn, and it's so beautiful, it's so lovely. If you try it out, make sure you send me a picture on Instagram or Facebook at Stitchadress. Thank you for watching my videos. Make sure you turn on the subscribe button and notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will get notified. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.